Chapter 11. The chapter about old age. One must seek the light. Women under the care of Upāsikā partook of strong drink while on their way to listen to the Buddha. When they arrived, they were possessed by Mara and started laughing and dancing. The Buddha, through his miraculous powers, sobered them up and then spoke this verse. 146. Why this laughter, why this joy, when the world is constantly burning? When enveloped by this darkness, do you still not seek for a light? The body is unstable. Jivaka's sister, Siritma, was a courtesan in Rajagaha, who attained stream entry and used to provide alms for the monks, but soon she died. The Buddha asked for her body to be left outside to rot, and although men would pay good money for her before, nobody would take her later, even for free. The Buddha spoke about her in this verse. 147. See this beautified mannequin, a heap of sores that is raised up, sick, imagined in many ways, which has nothing stable or firm. The end of life is death. The elderly nun Uttara still walked on alms round at the age of 120 years. While walking one day, she met the Buddha, but stumbled and fell down. The Buddha spoke this verse warning of her coming death. 148. This body is worn out, nest of disease, perishing, putrid. The putrid body will come to destruction, for life ends in death. Why delight in bones? Some monks attained absorption, and thinking they had awakened, they went to see the Buddha. The Buddha sent them to the charnel ground. When they saw a female corpse, they realized they still had lust. The Buddha then gave them this teaching. 149. Like discarded white girts thrown away in autumn, are these gray bones. Seeing them, why is there delight? What lies hidden in the body? The Buddha caused Venerable Rupananda, who was proud of her beauty, to see an image of a very beautiful woman quickly go through the stages of life, die, and be eaten by animals, and she gained insight into the nature of the body. The Buddha then spoke this verse. 150. This fortress is made out of bones, plastered over with flesh and blood, but hidden within lie old age, death, also conceit and anger. The Dhamma does not grow old. King Pasenadi's wife, Queen Pāḷi died and was eventually reborn in Dusita heaven. Later, the Buddha went on alms round, was invited by the king, and sat in his chariot hall, where he explained to the king that he shouldn't grieve, for all beings must die, and there he spoke this verse. 151. Royal chariots will decay, and the body also decays. But the Dhamma does not decay, the good pass it on to the good. Growing old but not wise. The monk Lalutdayi was always reciting the wrong verses, dirges at weddings, and joyful verses at funerals, and so on. The Buddha explained that he did the very same in the past life and spoke this verse. 152. The person of little learning increases in age like an ox, for although his flesh does increase, his wisdom does not increase. The end of craving. After he had defeated Mara at the foot of the Bodhi tree, the Bodhisattva, in the 3 watches of the night, attained insight into his previous existences, the rising and falling away of beings according to their intentional actions and dependent origination, which led to his awakening, at which point he spoke these exalted utterances. 153. Through the rounds of births and deaths I have wandered without finding the house builder I was seeking, born and suffering once again. 154. O house builder, now you are seen. You will not build the house again. All your rafters have been broken, and the ridgepole has been destroyed. My mind has reached the unconditioned, and craving's end has been achieved. Profiting in neither way. The wealthy youth Mahadana took to drink and squandered both his own and his wife's money and ended up a beggar. The Buddha explained that if he had applied himself as a layman, he would have been amongst the chief treasurers, and if he had become a monk, he would have attained the paths and fruits. And then he spoke this verse about him. 155. Not having lived the holy life, not having gained wealth in their youth, they waste away like the herons in a small lake devoid of fish. 156. Not having lived the holy life, not having gained wealth in their youth, they lie like shafts shot from a bow, wailing about things in the past.